Well, glad you're still with us on Colorado and Company. Well, this Thanksgiving, step out of the kitchen and take some time to express your gratitude, right? And joining us with some creative ways to do that is, of course, Barry Brown. Barry, it's so good to finally have you in studio. How are you?
In Colorado, yeah, I'm really good. It's great to be here today. Thanks.
It's good to have you. Now, Barry, you're usually teaching us how to carve pumpkins, but today we're going to do crafts. What are we starting out with, and why is this something cool to do?
Well, interestingly, the craft is about pumpkins, so that's kind of segues.
But
it's about expressing gratitude and thanks.
I love that. And especially this time of year, it's good to really put the focus on what we're grateful for. So let's do this activity. And what do you do with some of the supplies that you have brought? And people can actually do this at home too during the holidays.
Yeah, that's right. It's really just strips of paper. And so you cut up some paper in strips. You make these little shapes like this. Like you make a kind of a pinwheel thing.
Okay.
This stuff in the middle is just the negative space from the leaves that I cut out of paper. And then I wad them up into this kind of core, and I start gluing them together. Now, what I'd love for you to do is to see if you can think about things that you're grateful for, or even that you just pay attention to. Like the dog. We were just talking about the dog
that was in the lobby.
It's such a good feeling. So you might say, I think dogs are cool. That's enough to start the opening of being thankful.
Anything you are thankful for.
Then we're going to glue these little pieces together on this core. We're going to make a little shape like this, and so you just hold it there. I think it's cool with the glue to just hold a thing for a minute. And even to think about the thanks, hold that thanks.
That's right. Now, why do you think doing something like this is really good for the soul? I love this.
The idea of even noticing what I'm aware of or thankful for is sort of like brain science. It shoots off feel-good chemicals in your brain, and it helps improve your mood. We were talking about that.
It does,
It reduces stress and just sort of an overall sense of goodness, of well-being. That's brain science.
Right. You know, as I was telling you a little bit earlier, I used to do that every single morning, where I would wake up, write down 5 things I was grateful for. It really helped.
How did it help?
Why did I stop? It just put me in a really positive mood, no complaining, but it made me really humble and really grateful for the things that I do have. And I went through the day with that in mind. Like, it kind of like started out my day that way. So that's something good to do.
Yeah, definitely. There's this great poem, excuse me, by Mary Oliver that says, it doesn't have to be the blue iris. It could be weeds in a vacant lot. Just be aware, notice, pay attention, then patch a few words together. And don't try to make it elaborate. It's not a contest.
It's not. Just,
it's an opening. It's a doorway to thanks.
Whatever comes to you, it's probably the right one. Now, this is kind of an interactive thing you could do while you're at home during Thanksgiving, after everybody's eaten. What if you have like the Grinch that doesn't want to participate, but you really want that person to participate?
Well, like Mr. Rogers said, your feelings are mentionable and manageable. And sometimes people feel like my feelings aren't manageable. Right now, the world, the nation, things are going not great. That might be stuff in the doorway. Kind of like that segment on Goodwill. There might be stuff. And if we clear that stuff away, there's a place for that stuff. And if I'm feeling grumpy or grinchy or something like that, there's a place to mention that. It might not be at the Thanksgiving dinner table.
But you can write it down.
You can write it down.
This is one good way.
So when you write your things down on your thankfulness, we glue them onto a pumpkin like this.
I see how you were doing that.
Put a little cap on, and this is kind of fun.
That is so cute.
You start with a cone, and then you scrunch it up.
Can you show us how you would do that?
Yeah, so you just kind of like, you start mushing it. And this might be a place for those grumpy feelings. Like the things that aren't going right now. But then it turns into this beautiful stem, and then we created this centerpiece. It's all paper. It's cut out leaves, this wire that I had wrapped in raffia. And even speaking of Goodwill, there's things that I got at the thrift store, like these little cutouts.
Really? Yeah, these are great.
At your Thanksgiving table. I got that wreath at the thrift store.
You can find great things if you just give yourself a little time to go out there and look.
And paper leaves, I put some wire on that. You could have people write things on there if they want to and stick it in your Goodwill.
Oh, that would be really cute. Barry, how long have you been making paper creations? Because these look so good. They look great.
Well, thanks. And it's really fun to make things out of kind of nothing, like paper. My dad was an auctioneer. When I was a little kid, I grew up in Erie, Colorado.
Okay.
This little tiny blip. And he brought home some paper from a print shop that he was having an auction for that nobody wanted this paper. So he brought it home and I'm like, stacks of paper, oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness,
and
yes.
I just made all kinds of stuff out of paper. And that's why I think I like to go to the thrift store, because making stuff out of nothing, maybe that's a place to even imagine being thankful out of a hard place.
Right.
Like when my grandma grew up, she didn't have water or electricity or anything.
Oh my goodness.
But they were so grateful for the little things that they got, and especially at Thanksgiving time, like the bounty of a pumpkin,
yes,
the bounty of
course.
a table filled with things. That's a good feeling to stop and to notice.
That's right.
What am I aware of? This table full of good food that I can eat right now, staying inside where it's warm.
Yeah.
That's a wonderful thing. And then once we have that feeling of thankfulness, it might be like, well, I might have extra things that I can give to people that don't have it.
Yeah, it opens up your mind to so much more, but thank you.
It's a door opening to thankfulness.
That's right. Thank you for the message today, Barry. I think we can all use that as a reminder of how grateful we need to be, especially this time of year. Okay, and if you want to learn more about Barry, you can do so. You can see more creations and connect with Barry by checking out his website. It's barrybrowncreative.com.